Serbian-Macedonian collaboration. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Stephen. I would like also to thank to my translators, Peggy and Graham Reed. Yeah, the book was published in US, and when I was going there for reading tour, I explained that I'm coming from Europe, and I often do in Europe when I have readings. I come from Europe. First I'll read you in Macedonian, and then once in English, and then I'll ask Jana Stefanovska to read the last one in English. Кога некој заминува, се што е создадено се враќа. На Маријан К. Во предградката зад аголот ќе препознаеш дека некој некаде оди. Секогаш е така, живеам меѓу две вистини како неонка што се колева во празен ходник. Моето срце собира се повеќе луѓе, зашто нив веќе ги нема. Така е секогаш, четвртина од будноста ја трошиме во трепкање, нештата ги забораваме уште пред да ги изгубиме. Тетратката по краснопис, например. Ништо не е ново. Седиштето во автобусот е секогаш топло. Последните зборови се пренесуваат како накосени кофи во вообичаен летен пожар и утре пак ќе се повтори истото. Лицето, пред да исчезне од фотографијата, првин ќе ги изгуби брчките. Кога некој заминува, се што е создадено се враќа. When someone goes away, everything that's been done comes back. For Marian K. In the embrace on the corner, you will recognize someone's going away somewhere. It's always so. I live between two truths, like a neon light trembling in an empty hall. My heart collects more and more people since they are not here anymore. It's always so. 1/4 of our waking hours are spent in blinking. We forget things even before we lose them. The calligraphy notebook, for instance. Nothing's ever new. The bus seat is always warm. Last words are carried over like cracked buckets to an ordinary summer fire. The same will happen all over tomorrow. The face, before it vanishes from the photo, will lose the wrinkles. When someone goes away, everything that's been done comes back. The hands of the clock. Inherit your childhood from the photo album. Transfer the silence that expands and contracts like a flock of birds in flight. Hold in your hands the irregular snowball and the drops that run down the line of life. Say the prayer through sealed lips. The words are seeds falling into a flower pot. Silence is learned in the womb. Try to be born like the big hand after midnight, and the seconds will overtake you at once. Poem about home, about dom, place where I return, but not leave. Home. I lived at the edge of the town like a street lamp whose light bulb no one ever replaces. Cobwebs held the walls together and swept our clasped hands. I hid my teddy bear in holes in crudely built stones. Stone walls saving him from dreams. Day and night I made the threshold come alive, returning like a bee that always returns to the previous flower. It was a time of peace when I left home. A bitten apple was not bruised. On the letter, a stamp with an old abandoned house. From birth, I have migrated to quiet places, and voids have clung beneath me like snow that doesn't know if it belongs to the earth or to the air. I'd like to invite Jana Stefanowska to read the last poem. Običnú tú notnú zanakivanie, or usual summer nightfall.
Usual summer nightfall. This is what summer nightfall is like. The adulteress comes onto the balcony in a silk nightgown that lets through the trembling of the stars. A twig drops from the beak of a bird that falls asleep before it has built its home. A soldier lowers the flag of the state with a letter from his mother in his pocket, and atomic tests in the womb of the earth secretly revive the dead. At that moment, someone quietly interprets Byzantine neumes. Someone else falsifies the exoduses of the Balkan and the civil wars in the name of universal truths. In the factory yards, the statues of participants in annulled revolutions sleep. On the symmetrical graves, plastic flowers lose their colour and ordinary ones their shape. But this piece of the dead we have parted from is not ours. In the village with 3 lit windows, a fortune teller foresees only recoveries and not illnesses. The waves throw up bottles enough to hold the whole sea. The arrow on the one-way road sign points to God. A fisherman rips off a bit of the sky as he casts his baited line into the river. Some poor child searches for the little bear and the planet he'd like to come from. In front of the doorstep of the killer with an alibi, a feather attempts to fly. This is what usual summer nightfall is like. The town combusts in the redness of the moon, and the fire brigade ladders seem to lead to heaven, even then, when everyone is climbing down them.
Thank you, Anna.